Okay, let's jump into the sources for today's deep dive. We're looking at a product called Neupril Kids.
Hmm.
It's a supplement specifically for children, and it's marketed as helping with focus and mood, uses specialized B vitamins.
Right.
And our mission really is to unpack this gap we're seeing between the actual science behind it and, frankly, the marketing strategy. One source even called it weapons grade problematic.
Yeah, that description really captures it and
Mhm.
steps right into what some people are calling peak parenting anxiety capitalism.
Explain that a bit.
Well, you've got worried parents, understandably looking for solutions for maybe tricky behavioral stuff.
Hmm.
And then you have these, specialized ingredients like methylfolate here, marketed almost as a lifestyle fix.
Okay, let's pin down that main ingredient, methylfolate. We hear folic acid all the time in vitamins. How is methylfolate different? Why does that matter here?
That's absolutely crucial. Think of folic acid as the raw material. Your body
Yeah.
has to convert it first. Methylfolate is the converted form. It's bioactive, ready to go. Your body uses it directly for, well, really important things like building DNA, making neurotransmitters.
Brain chemicals,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. And the company, they're based in Toronto. They push the fact they've sold like over 100,000 drops, offer a 90-day guarantee. Because the underlying science for the ingredient itself isn't wrong, it is essential.
Right, but essential for whom? That seems to be the sticking point. The research keeps mentioning MTHFR gene variants. Can you break that down quickly?
Sure, so some kids have this specific gene variation, MTHFR. It means their bodies aren't very good at that conversion step we talked about.
Folic acid to methylfolate.
Correct. So for those kids, getting methylfolate directly can be genuinely therapeutic. It bypasses that faulty conversion. But, and this is key, it should be under medical guidance.
And there's some official backing. I saw a mention of European authorities.
Yeah, the European Food Safety Authority reviewed methylfolate back in 2020. They deemed it safe enough to be added to things like infant formula. So for specific identified needs, it's recognized.
Okay, so here's the conflict then. The science points to very targeted use, almost like a prescription based on genetics.
Precision medicine, basically.
Exactly. But the marketing seems to be aiming much broader. Like, is your kid unfocused? Try this. If the ingredient itself is deemed safe, where's the actual harm? Maybe a placebo effect helps anxious parents.
Well, the harm isn't necessarily that the molecule itself is toxic at these doses. The danger is using a potent biological tool kind of randomly.
Indiscriminately.
Yes, the sources used a great analogy. Giving any kid methylfolate without knowing if they need it or checking their current levels is like prescribing glasses without checking vision first.
You just wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't. It's just shotgun supplementation. They're
Mm.
selling, hope in a dropper
Yeah.
without really highlighting that you should probably get genetic testing or talk to a doctor first.
And the sources also mention potential risks beyond just wasting money, especially in kids whose systems are still developing.
That's right. Developing brains and nervous systems are, well, sensitive. If a child doesn't actually need extra methylfolate, giving it might push their brain chemistry too far the other way.
How might that show up?
It could be subtle, maybe trouble sleeping or perhaps even more anxiety or irritability,
Mhm.
things that are easy to miss or blame on something else, while the real underlying issue isn't being addressed.
Yeah.
You're basically tweaking complex biochemistry without any real data on that specific child.
So summing this up for you listening, the real tension here is between this idea of precision medicine, knowing the child's specific needs, maybe their genetics, their current folate status.
Versus these broad marketing promises that make a complex intervention sound like a simple, quick fix for common worries.
All right. The takeaway seems pretty clear. Expert guidance is essential here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The science supports methylfolate, but for specific diagnosed needs, usually involving those MTHFR variants or confirmed deficiencies. It's not a general cognitive booster, despite the marketing.
Which leaves us with something to think about. How often do we see complex issues, especially around child development or behavior, presented with these simple, over-the-counter supplement solutions?
Yeah, and what's the real cost? Maybe not just in money, but in delaying proper assessment or intervention when we reach for that easy answer first, especially with developing kids.
Something to chew on. Keep asking those questions. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.